Welcome back to another Lex for the Record interview. It's been a little bit, but I'm excited to be back today. And this time we are talking to Reva K, who is a pop rock musician and producer. So we're going to talk about her latest album. We're going to talk about her story and probably some physical media, probably some early 2000s, 90s, Y2K things, and all of that. So, how are you today, Reva?
I am doing great. How are you?
I am awesome. I'm so glad to be talking to you, and thank you for joining me here and giving me your time.
Well, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, if you want to kind of start off with, I guess, what is probably the most basic question, but I do
Mhm.
think it is essential. And that is just, I would love to hear how you got into making music. Like, was there a specific moment that made you realize music was your path, or has it just kind of always been there?
I would say it's kind of always been there. Not sure how aware of it I've been, being so young. I don't think I really
Hmm.
was thinking about it, but I was. I remember being drawn to it since like preschool, because like the first memory I have is they played "What a Wonderful World" by Louis Armstrong in preschool,
Ah.
and like I was just like so in love with it. And like my dad went and bought the CD for me and I was so excited about it. And now I'm like thinking back and I'm like I was so young. Like obviously
Mhm.
I was very obsessed with music. And then, I would always love car rides with my family and listening to like my dad is a big like 80s and Beatles fan. So always enjoyed that, always drawn to it. And then I think when I was like around 6, I went to a toy store with my grandma, and she was like, "Pick any toy you want." So I was looking at this drum set and this guitar, just
Mhm.
like this tiny battery powered thing, and I just decided in that moment that whatever instrument I pick was going to be the instrument that I was going to play for the rest of my life. And I was really
Good way to
serious
do it.
about that. Yeah. So then when I was 8, I started taking guitar lessons. So obviously you can guess I chose the guitar between the
Uh-huh.
drums and the guitar.
Good
And
choice.
I had like friends and stuff, that would play instruments and they would kind of fall off and be sick of practicing, but
Hmm.
I just always loved it. Like it was so nice to have that personal time and just kind of like zone out and play, and I stuck with it, and it was something that ended up being so helpful in like middle school, especially for me. I never was popular and I
Same.
would come home. Yeah,
Same.
I would come home, and I mean, probably, I don't know when you got into music, but maybe you can relate. I used to just come home, do my homework, and just get lost in music. So I would play guitar for like 2 hours and practice. And then when I was about 16, maybe, I started kind of getting into the writing part of it. And I was really inspired by like one of the shows when I was popular. I think you're kind of around my age, but I loved Hannah
Yeah.
Montana.
Oh, that is literally where it all started for me too. Yes. How old are you?
I'm 32.
Okay, I'm 23, so we're still kind of in that
Yeah,
early 2000s. Like I was
sure,
born in
sure.
2002, so like
Okay, yeah, yeah,
mhm.
yeah, yeah. It was still a thing then. Yeah.
Yes, very much so.
So, I used to watch that show and be like, oh my God, like she's so cool. And
Yes.
being un
Yes.
being unpopular, I was like, well, maybe if I do that, I'll be cool, right?
Yeah.
So I started writing these songs, and then by 18, like went to college, and by that point I was like really serious about writing, and I studied graphic design and did a minor in architecture, and all my free time I'd be playing around campus or in like the little dorm practice room, like just writing every single night. And basically when I graduated, that's when, the question came, how do I do this? But that was sort of like my journey into getting to the point of becoming like serious about pursuing it.
Yeah, I love that. And I honestly I just love to hear like when people have like I guess similar inspirations or like similar things that they see like you mentioning Hannah Montana, like that's the thing you saw that was like, oh yeah, like this is what I want to be, or like this is what I want to do, because like I know how that feels to be a kid, and like seeing something like that, it sticks with you.
It
It
does.
really does. But that's kind of like the like I would honestly I would credit Miley, and like even like not even just what she did as Hannah Montana, but like even just like her own like solo stuff. Like I would also credit her as being like probably like one of the first artists that I saw. And it just kind of like pulled me into the world of music. Like I totally relate, and I love
Yeah,
that. Oh my gosh.
I love that too.
But that's such a cool story. So you said you really started kind of focusing on the lyric aspect when you were around 16, right?
Yeah, like 16, 18 kind of, yeah.
So like what was the like I guess what made you think, okay, I want to start writing lyrics?
That's a good question. Because I think, for me, it was just like, okay, I got to write a song, so I got to start
Mm,
writing lyrics.
yeah.
One of the things that sort of like definitely caused me to start getting into that was like I had always wanted a band, like even when I was from like fifth grade, like I would try to get
Mm,
my friends to like play, and it just never worked out.
yeah.
Like they tried, and I would figure out the parts to different songs, and we would like try to practice, and I love them so much for trying to do that. But I never really found that band, and so I got to the point of like, okay, well, then I just got to do it. Like I got to be the
Mm,
singer, I got to be the writer, I got to make the ideas, and that's what got me into writing the lyrics. So it wasn't really about poetry or the love for words or anything like that. It
mm,
was just like I want to make a song.
yeah. So I got to do it myself. Yeah, I love
Exactly.
it. I love it. I mean, honestly, like I feel like that's when like the most beautiful things happen, because I bet it was kind
Yeah.
of like I'm sure it was probably like a little like sad or scary to think, oh wait, I have to do this alone, even though I originally thought like,
Oh yeah.
people were gonna be with me. Like I'm sure
Sure.
that was probably something that didn't feel like it was so great in the moment.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the biggest piece of that was, along with learning to write, like I had to sing. like
Yeah.
which is such a I mean, like, I don't know anyone who's not self-conscious when they first start singing. So for me to just be like, okay, well, looks like I got to open this mouth and see what happens, like
Yeah.
that was a big thing.
Yeah. So like was there any like how did you overcome it? Like were there any like specific like things you had to do, like whether it was like, like rituals or like affirmations, like how did you overcome like the fear or like the
Yeah.
self-consciousness of singing?
Well, I have to owe that to my sister because I
Oh.
was literally just kind of practicing in my room like I always do. And she
Mm.
was sitting on the bed. We shared a room. She was reading a book, and she just like looked up and she was like, you're actually like kind of pretty good.
Oh, kind of pretty good. Hey.
Yeah, right? And like my sister is, she will be ruthless when it comes to like critiquing me in a good way. Like,
Mm.
I rely on her for that, for an honest
Mm.
opinion. And so when she's saying that I sound like kind of okay, that was a confidence booster for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of just banked on that. And I think the place where I was playing, where I was taking guitar lessons, they were doing like some kind of just like little concert at City Hall.
Mm.
So I asked if I could play, and I sent in a little voice memo from my phone as like an audition. And he was like, hey, I didn't know you could sing. Like, you're pretty good. And I was like, okay, 2 for 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, I played that, and people really liked it, and that was that was like it. I was like, okay, I can sing.
Yeah, and here you are.
Right.
Oh my gosh. So you said you started kind of like learning to write lyrics and stuff, all of that at 16, and you're 32 now. What did like 16 from 32 look like? Because I kind of want to now talk about like your debut album, Welcome to 20 something. I'm sure that that album probably gives us a good glimpse into probably what
Yes.
most of that
Oh
section
yeah.
of your life was like. But like, I don't know if you just kind of want to like walk through, I guess, how you got to the title, Welcome to 20 something, and what was it about your 20s that was like, hey, I want to make a whole album about it.
Yeah. That's not a short story.
No.
Somehow well, I mean, I think it's amazing that I've compacted it into the album. Like,
That is impressive.
so, I mean, I'll start with like basically college. I mentioned
Hmm.
I like played around there, and
Yep.
I kind of felt like what you described to me before when we were talking
Hmm.
about sort of feeling like isolated in terms of music.
Yeah.
I couldn't really find people who were really serious about it,
Mm.
who were interested in the same kind of music. Couldn't really nerd out with people,
Yep.
didn't have a lot of people to jam with. So, again, still, not being able to find that band.
Hmm.
And it was hard to really start building a career in. I went to the University of Illinois, that's in Champaign.
Hmm.
It's kind of in farmland. And so, yeah, I mean, not a big like music scene. I mean, there
Yep.
is a music scene. It's very college. It's
Hmm.
great. Been played on their like college station there.
Hmm.
Awesome place to like start up, really. But to really grow beyond a certain point, like you get limited after a point.
Uh-huh.
So I graduated and then I was like, okay, like how do I do this? There's no map, there's no blueprint, and of course, right when you graduate, like everybody is telling you, well, you got to do this, this,
Oh,
this, this.
yes.
Like, that is just like it's so overwhelming. And of
Hmm.
course, everyone is also going to tell you you should not be a musician. That's a terrible idea. How are you going to make that work? And it really gets to you because you don't have an answer.
Yeah,
Like,
you
they're like, so how are you going to do this? I don't know.
You're
Like,
just like, I run on pure hope and pure
yeah,
vibes. That's how you
yeah,
see.
yeah. And it was scary and horrifying in both not knowing how to do it and then also thinking of my life where music doesn't really play a big part and doing this whole thing of like, oh, just kind of some like desk job, like 9 to 5
Mm,
for like my whole life. So both directions you're looking at, it's just terrifying.
yeah,
And so,
fair.
yeah, so definitely like right out of college, the first song on the album, 20 something, like I feel like that is the one I wrote that just captures that feeling so strongly, where it's just like you just want to scream.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of, you're experiencing a lot of anxiety, depression, confusion, like trying to figure out who you are and how you fit in the
Mm,
world. And what I ended up doing was I found a music production course.
mm,
I think maybe a year or two after I came out of college, and I decided to do that because I had all these songs on my laptop and just feeling bad that I couldn't put them out. And so, again, sort of like the singing and the songwriting thing, I'm like, okay, well, no one's here. I guess I'm going to do it.
yeah.
So I spent about a year learning how to do that and just like writing songs every day, like learning to produce every day, like listening to songs, trying to break them down. And at the end of that course, I think it was like 2018, I finally put together a song. It's not out anymore, but it was finally one that I felt really proud of. It was called "Color on the Walls." Some of like my day one supporters, they know it. And I submitted it to a songwriting competition in Nashville, and it ended up getting it made it to the semifinals, and I was like,
Wow.
whoa, like,
Wow. One of your
yeah,
first songs made it to the
yeah,
semifinals. That's crazy, but
it was
awesome.
crazy. It was crazy. And obviously, I started submitting it to a bunch of different other opportunities, and it was it was like getting me a lot of attention. And it was in a good way because it was like a lot of positive feedback for me.
Hmm.
But at the same time, you probably know that there's a lot of scammy people out there in the music business, and they are
Hmm.
looking for young, inexperienced, talented people.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was also drawing a lot of that too. And again, me being kind of on my own, like, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. And like, I was so young still too at that point.
Mhm.
Not really feeling even fully like a matured adult. I mean, I don't even know if I feel like that still, but like,
I don't either.
yeah,
I don't either. So I don't know if you ever do. Like
I don't know if you ever do.
I'll hear adults that are, like in their 40s and stuff at like my day job, and they're like, I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up. Well, I
Yeah,
guess this is kind of forever.
people need to admit that we're all just forever kids. That's the truth.
Right, right. I mean, I feel like that. Yeah, I feel like it's got to be. Like, I mean, it's just, I don't know, at the end of the day, like, it sounds like cliche, but I just feel like people are people. Like, just
Yeah.
because you turn a certain age doesn't mean, like, anxiety goes away, doesn't mean worry
Oh
goes
yeah.
away, doesn't mean, like, wanting to have fun goes away. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just, I don't know. But they try to, like, I feel like society tries to make you think it should, but
Right.
it really doesn't. And I feel like if people do, like, act like that, then they're just, like, suppressing it,
Oh, they're
Like,
totally pretending. Yeah. They don't know
yeah.
what they're missing.
That exactly. Exactly. But wow, so I mean, it sounds like you had like obviously anything like that's going to be like a long kind of like lonely journey, but it sounds like it was a great one though. I mean, one of your first songs going to semifinals of a competition, and then having like a debut album now. I know you have like other accolades also that I saw on
Yeah.
your press kit. Like, I mean, it sounds like even though it was like a journey that kind of led you to make an album like Welcome to 20 something, it still sounds like it was a good one. So we love
I've
to see
just
that.
Yeah, thank you. I've discovered a lot about myself, and I think that's the
Hmm.
best part about the journey. And
Yeah.
just realized how much I'm capable of, and how much I can do, and how much I can problem solve. And I think that is like so empowering. And as awful as some of the experiences were, like, I don't think I would undo them just because of how I feel now at this point.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to go through the downs as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like I'm totally with you. Totally with you. As someone who is currently a 20 something, I am
Yeah.
totally with you. If you want to get a little more into the album, obviously if people haven't picked up on it by now, it is called Welcome to 20 something. Amazing pop rock record.
Thank
Absolutely
you.
love it. So what like before people press play or before people go to listen to this album, what should they know about it?
It's a lot of fun, upbeat music about a lot of stressful things.
Love it. I love it. I love music that has the like it sounds happy and sounds amazing and makes you want to dance, but then the lyrics are like n- not like tragic or something, but
Yeah.
they're like darker. That is
Yeah.
exactly my kind of music.
I know. I love that too. I love that too because I'm a very like upbeat song girl.
Yeah.
I love jamming in the car and dancing around in my room with the headphones in and
Yes.
stuff. So for me, like slow, sad songs, they just make me feel more depressed. Like
Yeah. which sometimes is what you need,
Sometimes,
but
yeah.
most of the time I think it's more healing to like dance it out or just like scream it out in the car.
At least,
So,
yeah, at least for me, that's what
yeah.
works.
Yeah. That's awesome. I know when I first listened to the album, I was in the car and I was on my commute home from work, and then like the first thing I hear is you screaming like get your act together, and I'm just like yes, 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 yes. It just like improved my mood so much. Like it really did. So that has definitely been achieved on this record.
Awesome.
Um I just think it has like equal parts like hopeful and liberating, but then there's also like the kind of like lost aspect. Like, I don't know what
Sure.
I'm doing. All these like voices probably from like other people are like in your head, so you're like confused. Like, I just feel like it definitely has that like double kind of I guess meaning or whatever to it. So I just love that cuz it really is like it is exactly what being in your 20s feels like. Like it's almost like you know what you want to do, but it's like how do I do it? What if it doesn't work out? What if everyone's like I told you so?
Right.
You know, all of that just kind of gets jumbled in your head and you just feel like I don't know, like you need to scream sing in the car sometimes. So
Right.
I definitely understand that. But I guess now kind of getting into like um I guess writing it and making it and everything, like how did writing this record and also recording and singing it, how did all of that kind of help you, I guess, make sense of all the noise that like came with that stage of life? Like I'm sure it was cathartic. Like
Yeah.
how did that, I guess, help you process it and
So I started writing it basically when I felt like I had gotten over this like hump of insanity.
okay. Got okay. So
So
it was after.
yeah, yeah.
Nice.
So I it was a lot of reflecting back on it
Mm.
with a clearer head and even laughing at some of it. And it because it was hard, like just generally for me when I'm going through something, it's hard for me to write about that feeling because I'm
Mm.
experiencing the feeling and
Yep.
I'm not really in a frame of mind to like really analyze it and think about it and put it into song form. So when I wrote this album, first of all, I didn't even know it was going to be an album. I was like shooting for an EP at the beginning. And
Okay.
obviously I just had a lot of inspiration and I'd be like, okay, cool, like now I have 4 songs, like I have an EP, and then I would just get an idea for another song and it would just keep happening. It wasn't like I sat and wrote 20 songs for this.
Mm-hmm.
I usually don't write like big batches of songs. It's I kind of just know when I have an idea that has potential, and not that it
Mm.
always works, but a lot of
Yeah.
times like the songs that come to me very fast are the ones that end up working the best and getting put out.
Yeah.
So
Okay, that makes a lot of sense because like I think that's what it is about your music now. Like hearing you say that, I'm like, yep, that's exactly why it feels so like authentic and fresh and just relatable because it's you like being real. And I feel
yes,
like that's what makes music stand out these days is it real? Is it really from like
yeah,
the heart of the artist?
very true.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean you could almost say like I wrote these songs and they're an album, but I didn't really write them to make an album. Like they were
Yes.
just songs that came to me and I needed to get them out of me. So,
I love that. Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. So, would you say that it kind of, I mean, obviously it helped you make more sense out of it, but would you say like maybe you were kind of thinking like, okay, like, am I talking to my past self with these songs? Was it kind of like that? Or was it just like, I guess, oh, I feel like I'm over it now and like I can process it enough? Or was it like, I want this to be something for other people to have to maybe like help them through their journey like
definitely
this.
Definitely the last one.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, I felt like it was me saying everything to explain the way I felt that I couldn't really put into words at the time. Again, just because it's not clear when you're experiencing like so
Yeah.
many like heavy emotions and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
that was probably the thing that felt very good and cathartic, is to finally be able to like put into words and explain to people that like this is how it felt, and not just through the words but through the music too. Like, again, that song 20 something, the I mean, it was pretty much the inspiration for the album
Mm-hmm.
title. And like, there's like this chaotic synth in there and everything. And like, it was both for me. It was the words and the music that helped express like those feelings of what I was going through.
Yeah, it kind of made me think of Olivia Rodrigo's track Brutal, just in the
Oh
sense that
yeah.
like it kind of just opens like, straight out the
Yeah,
gate, you're
yeah.
just angsty and you just got to get stuff out.
Yeah.
Just like that similar I guess like approach or something. Like that's what it made me think of. But obviously like it's like your own sound and still totally stayed unique, but I was like, "Oh yeah, this is
Yeah.
exactly the vibe."
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, it was just kind of like you like just like you've had enough of the noise, you're just kind of just starting, you're not holding anything back. That's
Right.
exactly what it felt like.
Right.
But speaking of the noise, that makes me think of what was my favorite track on the album.
Another vote.
Yeah. Yeah. I truly like when I got to that song, I feel like that was kind of where the album maybe started to take a little bit of like a slower speed, because that's more of a slower track, nothing like 20 something. uh,
Yeah.
but that one just really stuck out to me. I guess because when I first heard like some of the first few lyrics and stuff, it definitely kind of made me think of
Oh
like
yeah.
what it feels like to be from a small town or to still live in a small town. It just really hit home. It even has some of my favorite lyrics that I heard on the album, which I actually wrote down, just because
Oh.
I didn't want to forget them. But it was when you said, "The birds see things that I dream about," and I was just like, "Yep, yep, that's it."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like that is like she literally put that feeling into words, like the feeling of like not really, I guess, having as many life experiences like someone who lived in like a bigger place would have or
Sure.
something. So I guess just kind of like what was your like writing process for that one, like what made you I guess kind of have a slower song kind of come out.
So slower songs, like I mentioned, I mean, they're harder for me to
Mm,
do, and
yeah.
I didn't know that it was gonna be on the album. It's
Hmm.
something that, I mean, technically, it would be actually the first song that I wrote for the album, unknowingly,
Interesting. Yeah.
because I wrote that like right after I had gotten away from this person who was just not good for me. And the song is about like that feeling after that, where you don't have the person around you anymore,
Yeah.
but like you're still kind of stuck in that like zone, and you still, have those words from that person in your head, and it's not just
Hmm.
like poof, like you're
Yeah.
fine.
It lingers.
It lingers. And so that was, I mean, probably out of all of the songs, like that was the one that was just like, this is not for an album. This is not even necessarily for people to hear. Like,
Hmm.
and so then when I started getting to the point of like crafting, the EP first, and then realizing, okay, this is probably going to be an album, I was like, well, I can't just have all fast songs. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, gotta add some
I mean,
diversity.
I can, but I personally think that a good album has, the fast points and the slow points.
Absolutely.
And at that point, when I was starting to write more of the songs, like I was more in this like hyped up like angry mode. So it was like really hard for me to like slow down and write something like that. So I was going through, like what else do I have? What are some other ideas that I had started that are a little bit more like low key?
Mm-hmm.
And I heard that song again and I was just like, there's something very like raw about it. Like the emotion is there. And so I was like, okay, well, this is going to be the one. And the other tough thing about that was when I write my songs, it's usually like I will have my computer on my like I use Logic Pro to
Mm-hmm.
record my music. I will have that open. I will have my guitar ready. I'll have my keyboard plugged in. I'll get a beat going. Like it's not just writing on like a guitar and then
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out how to, add more to it. I like creating the vibe and just going from there from the start. So this was one that because of how I wrote it, it was just me and the guitar. And so coming back to it after months, it was like definitely a challenge to figure out what I wanted the song to be in terms of the production. So it was the hardest to produce, stressed me out the most. Literally had probably 2 or 3 times where I thought it wasn't going to happen, it wasn't going to get done, and it wasn't going to go out. And I am so happy that it did get done because, I mean, you are
Yeah.
honestly the probably, I don't know, I mean, unfortunately, I can't talk to everybody who listens to my music. I mean,
Right.
I would love to, I mean, please, anyone watching this should message me. But
Yeah. Yeah, but it's just one person. It's not always like possible. Yeah.
right, right. But yeah, you're definitely at like the 10th at least person that has said that it's their favorite track. So
I love that. Oh my gosh. Well, that's awesome. I'm happy to be the 10th person. I don't know, it just sticks out to me because, like, yes, I do love a lot of, like, fast-paced, upbeat music, but I also, like, it kind of just depends on, I guess, like, I don't know, like your mood for the day or something like
yeah.
that. But I do, like, at the end of the day, at my core, I feel like a lot of, I don't even think I really liked it because it was slower. Like, that wasn't the only reason. It just kind of
Right.
felt like, it felt kind of like cinematic or something to me. Like, it made me feel like I was in like a music video, like staring out the
I love
window,
that.
like longingly or something.
Yeah.
That was what it was mainly. It was that cinematic element. And I just think it
Yeah.
sounded really pretty and really beautiful. So, like, great song.
Thank you.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
you saying that.
Oh, absolutely. Um, and then I also wanted to, I guess, kind of ask you more about your sound, now that we're on that kind of topic or that kind of track. Definitely feels very 90s, very early 2000s, very nostalgic, which is my favorite brand of nostalgia is
Yeah.
like that era, probably
Yeah.
because, being born in 2002. But even though it still sounds like that, again, it still sounds very original, very new, very fresh. It doesn't feel like anything that's been like repeated or anything like that. So I was just wondering, like, is that a sound that you like intentionally sought out to craft, or is that just kind of like the music that just came out?
I I wouldn't call it intentional, but I mean it's
Hmm.
definitely a very very strong reflection of like
Yeah.
my influences and what I've grown up listening to.
Hmm.
And I mean there was actually going back to when, I was doing that online production course thing.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
That was when a lot of like kind of that like there was a lot of rap influence coming into pop music. So it was when like Taylor Swift had done Reputation, and like there
Hmm.
was a lot of great Ariana Grande music coming out, and that was it was so popular at the time, and it just being the thing, I was like, okay, well, like let me like learn from this, and
Yeah.
it never really, it was never something that really like spoke to me though,
Hmm.
and I don't think you can really avoid what the music that you're really meant to make. Like, I think it just comes out eventually. And
Yeah.
I think during the time I was learning, everyone kind of is experimenting, imitating a lot. And I think I just kind of found my way. Like, I've always been a guitar player. And I obviously, when learning guitar, used to like learn my favorite songs and mimic those, and all that's just sort of like muscle memory, like playing
Hmm.
those guitar licks and stuff that do go back to the 90s and 2000s. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, like I said, wouldn't call it intentional.
Hmm.
Subconsciously, definitely
Yeah.
drawing on my influences.
Yeah. What artists from that era did you like grow up listening to? Obviously, besides Miley and Hannah Montana
Right.
from our earlier conversation, but you can
Sure,
mention her
yeah.
again. But just what other artists from that era, I guess, would you say kind of like inspired you to like just keep going as a musician and to keep like making the music that you make?
Oh, yeah. So I love Paramore. Haley
Yes.
Williams, like I was
Yes.
always so like I was like, oh my god, I want her voice.
She's an icon. Yeah.
Avril Lavigne for sure. And one of my favorite bands at the time was in high school. Like defined my high school experience was All Time Low.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yes.
a lot of pop punk that was like
Mm-hmm.
defining high school for me. And then definitely like those classics. So like what I used to listen to the car or in the car with my dad. So like the '80s stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Springsteen, Fleetwood Mac, Beatles. So yeah, like I guess combining those two would be a good way to sort of define my sound.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I totally agree. That is awesome. I was also, well, I mean, I still am, but just growing up like middle school and high school, I was also a pop punk girly.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get it. And honestly, like sometimes I think that even could kind of stem from Hannah Montana because I feel like some
Yeah.
of her songs were like more like rock skewed
They
or
were,
like
yeah.
yeah, or like even some of the like lyrics like they could totally be like you put a pop punk beat over it, it's gonna work. Like
Right.
yeah,
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah, I love it. So now speaking of influences and stuff like that, that makes me think of something I wanted to be sure to tell you, which was when I started talking about the song In Too Deep, because that is one of your singles off the album, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so when I was listening to that, I was like, this could literally like I could almost hear this being like a Blondie song. That was
Oh,
who it,
cool.
yeah, yeah, that was who it made me think of. I was like, I just totally like if the year was like, 1980 something or 1990 something, like I could totally like this could be Debbie Harry. Like just I just love that. I was like, wow,
Awesome.
I don't think I have ever listened to a song that was like made in this day and age and had a thought like that
Yeah.
about Blondie. So like that
Yeah.
was just such a little treat when I got to that one. But it is a single, In Too Deep, and I was kind of wondering like what made you pick that song as a single, or what like made you think it like best represented the album? Because you also gave it a music video too.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. So what was it about In Too Deep?
I mean, it's upbeat, which is
Yeah.
always ideal for a single.
Mm-hmm.
It's catchy, and
Mm-hmm.
I shared the album with like my marketing consultant, and she listened to the album, and she's usually right about the singles. So she
Yeah.
like the one she pointed out was "In Too Deep" and "The Noise," and she was like,
Oh,
those are your like hot ones on this." And
yeah.
she's got great ears, so I usually don't really question her
Question
too
her.
much. Like I've worked with her for a while, and she's just been great. So
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, that was good advice. Because again, they were great ones. Funny how those are also the two that I picked to talk about.
yeah,
Oh, I love it. I love it. So, about the music video, That is such an interesting music video. I was literally like locked into it the whole time. What was the inspo or the story behind that?
So it it's it looks pretty random. It's there's probably a combo of reasons that it is the way it is.
Yeah,
One was not having a big music video budget, so I'm
fair.
like thinking like, what can I do to make something interesting? And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, like, what if I just get some masks from Amazon and like do that? Because I I spent a lot of time like observing music videos, and I would say like the two things that jumped out was that definitely have instruments and have like a band playing or something,
Yeah,
and two, make it kind of random. Like
yeah.
that's the formula that I broke it down to.
Mm-hmm. I
So
can see that. Yeah.
yeah, so one of the things I did for the first 20 copies of my album is I made a little zine, which I sent to you. And it was inspired by the lyrics on the album. And I'm a professional graphic designer, so it also sort of like played
Oh,
into my other strengths. And I think when I make music, it's never just about the song or the album. I take the visual aspect into account and trying to make this whole experience and world around it. So I was like, well, I need some inspiration for a music video. It's hard to pull
mm-hmm.
that out of thin air. And I had this zine made, and I'm like, well, why don't I just use that for inspiration and pull imagery out of that and sort of make the music video an extension of that and continue creating this like
Nice.
world. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you flip through that, you'll definitely recognize the connections there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a super fun time filming. I had a couple of my friends help out. It was freezing below
Uh,
zero, I think, or maybe 16
wow.
degrees, but with the wind chill like below zero. So we were in pain by the end of it, and I really have to give a shout out to my friends for like toughing it out and like being there for me. So
Good
yeah,
friends.
it definitely turned out really great. Super fun, and I think it captures like the fun aspect of the song.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, honestly, like, mad respect for still continuing to film a music video with a, like, what, correct, I don't remember what it was. Was it like a 16 wind chill?
It was 16 degrees, but the wind
16
chill
degrees
like made it below
below zero.
zero.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so mad respect for filming a music video with a below zero wind chill. Wow.
Well, when you prepare, it's like, it's hard to you got to coordinate everyone's schedule. Like it's
Mm,
just got to get it done. And when you're
yeah.
on that release timeline too, things just have to get done.
Yeah.
So
Didn't really have an option. But it was worth it, I'm sure. I'm sure it was worth it.
it is now. Yeah, now that I'm
Yeah.
like warm and seeing the views on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes, it definitely paid off. So, I guess kind of staying in the music video world, but also kind of going back into the cinematic aspect that I told you that I felt like some of your
Hmm.
songs had. I honestly think the whole record truly sounds like it could soundtrack a coming of age movie. So that just got me thinking, like, I wonder if there are any movies like that that like you love or like, you would recommend, I guess, to people to watch like after they listen to Welcome to 20 something and they just want even more um I guess like media like that makes them feel better about how awful your
Sure.
20s can be sometimes. Like what are some movies like that that you maybe like loved or like just would recommend?
So I don't remember what the name is, but one of my favorite movies like that. It's maybe you know what the title is. It's basically in Ireland, and there are these kids, and they're like starting a band, and
Uh-huh.
they're just having such a fun time. Like it's just it's being like in high school and having a band, and I think the main singer is actually like really talented, and he ends up
Mm.
like getting out of Ireland, and like
Oh,
that's sort of where the movie ends. Like he's on a boat headed out because everyone's like, you got to get out, like you're meant for more than just being a
yeah.
local band in Ireland. So
Yeah.
I wish
I
I could
don't
remember the
know
name of
that one,
it.
but now I'm gonna look
Yeah,
up.
I was gonna say
Um,
actually, let me look it up real
let's
quick.
see if we can find this because I'm so intrigued. Ireland band movie. Let's see. Is it The Commitments?
No.
Is it Sing Street?
Yes.
It's Sing Street. Oh
Yes.
my Okay, because that like it came up with three possible movies. Now this is the automatic AI overview, but
Yeah,
it
sure.
was like The Commitments was one, Sing Street was two, and then another one called Kneecap was three. But it's Sing Street. I'm
Yes.
gonna have to watch this. I have not seen that. Oh my
It's so
gosh.
good. It's
How
so
did
good,
you
and
find
they
it?
I don't even remember. And like one of the things I loved is like how I was saying, like when you're young and learning, you're kind of like mimicking like your favorite artists and
Yeah,
stuff. So they sort of
totally.
like their band like goes through these like transformations of like changing their sound and like dressing
Uh-huh.
certain ways and everything. And of course, they're trying to be cool for the girls and everything, and it's just so
Totally.
cute. Like it's so
Oh
cute.
gosh. I love that I think this is like the cover.
Yes,
They kind of have this actor looking like Billy Joe Armstrong
I
from
thought
Green
so
Day,
too.
and I
Yeah.
love it. I'm living for this. I wonder if he was like a muse for how they wanted the main character to
Yeah.
be. That is awesome. Okay, well, I'm definitely gonna have to watch Sing Street. I'm
Yeah.
intrigued. Wow.
Yeah. Highly recommended.
I love it. Now, another question I want to ask you is do you think that listening to this album on a physical format, like a CD or a vinyl, would change how people experience it?
100%. Oh yeah.
I totally think so too. I figured you would say yes, but I just wanted to see like if you also thought that like physical media was like a true good way to listen to music, especially an
Oh yeah.
album that has a lot of like nostalgic influences.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like
Good.
when you're listening on, like any digital format, it's hard to really appreciate an album to like its fullest extent because
Hmm.
still, you got the ads popping up and this and that and whatever. And so
Yeah.
I think if you really want to like just feel that album, like physical media.
Yep, it's the way to go. Clearly, I think so too. Uh,
I had no idea.
I know who would have thought. But no, I
I'm
totally
curious,
agree.
like how many, if I can ask, how many
Oh
vinyls
yeah.
do you have?
Oh yeah,
Like it looks like you have a
absolutely.
lot.
I do. Before I tell you the amount, I would like to preface that I've been collecting for like a little over 6 years now. So it's like my collection is like slowly built over time. It's not like one day I went out and bought all of these at once. Um, but I haven't like cataloged my collection in a few weeks, so it may be a little off, but I am currently at a little over 400 albums. Hmm. Over the
Impressive.
course of 6 years.
That is no joke.
Over the course of 6 years. But yeah, they like I truly am gonna have to start thinking about like upgrading my space a little bit or just like optimizing it for better storage purposes. As the collection continues to grow. But I'm super excited to add your CD to the physical media collection soon. That's gonna be probably I haven't been to my mailbox today, but I'll probably go at some point after this. But that will be probably my next addition to the physical media collection. So
Sweet.
cannot wait, cannot wait. Um, and then I also kind of wanted to ask if you had any like, do you have a physical media collection? Is it CDs? Is it vinyl or cassette
It's
or?
Yeah, it's CDs.
CDs?
Yeah, it's just, you know, that's my that's my memory of music, CDs, and I always
Yeah.
love flipping through the booklets that
Hmm.
come with. I did that just like being into music and wanting to learn. Like I'd always look at who the songwriters were, and I would look up
Yep.
them up on Google and everything. And just like my opinion, like I feel like vinyls, because I'm so used to the CD, like the vinyls always
Yeah.
feel so big to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, also like, this is where I record my music, and I have it's guitars and everything in here, and I'm
Right.
like, probably shouldn't load up
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
space with like more
Yeah, you
more
gotta
music related
optimize it a
stuff.
little better.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally get that because I also like have a CD collection. It's not as big as my vinyl collection, but I was drawn to vinyl because of just how big it was. Like I
Oh, okay.
don't, like that was one of the things that kind of I guess made me choose it. Like I just liked seeing that like something was satisfying about a 12 by 12 square. I don't I don't know why, but I guess because it is big and you can just I guess see more of stuff in the album
Yeah.
art and all. But I also totally get like, CDs are like I get probably more convenient and they make more sense if you're like, trying to like save space and stuff. But I love both. I think all physical media is great, truly. I don't
Yeah,
have
I
a whole
love
lot of
the
cassettes, but
I was gonna say I love the cassettes. They're so cute. Like I haven't
yeah,
gotten
yes,
any, just for the same reason, not to pile up collect
right,
another collection. But
yeah,
yeah, they're really cute. I'm glad they're kind of making a comeback too.
yeah, same. Do you have any like thoughts about like why you think that is? Why physical media's come back?
Uh, I mean, I think probably there was like, when this whole streaming thing started and got big, like everyone was like really into it, and I
Hmm.
think, at least I hope this is the reason. Like I hope that people have started realizing that they miss that like physical connection to music, because like you want to feel like connected to the artist, right? And like
Right.
I think a better way to do that than just digitally streaming a song is like actually buying their album. And
Hmm.
I mean, probably the big names don't do this, but like, I love sending notes to people when they buy the album. Like, they'll message me
Yeah.
back, and I love making that one on one connection with them, and like knowing that they relate to the music and everything. So, I would guess that's the reason. I hope it
Yeah.
is.
No, that's beautiful. I totally think that. I think there's many reasons, but I do think that like the connection to the artist and support of the artist is definitely probably like one of the top ones. 100%. I think that's what makes it special. Because that's what music is at the end of the day for me too. It's connection. And I feel like a little tiny digital phone screen kind of strips
Yeah.
some of that away. So no, I'm totally
Yeah.
with you.
Well,
Awesome.
my one more point about that, my art teacher
Hmm.
in high school, she said something really interesting, at one point. I think it was her daughter or somebody she knew. Doesn't matter who, I guess. But
Yeah.
she she's a musician, and she said that, eventually she kind of got into like physical art as well, like,
Mm.
because with music, this teacher was telling me, like, there's nothing tangible about music, and people want to be able to hold something, like, especially like, you fall in love with songs, like you want to be able to hold something that
Yeah, you want to
represents
see
that.
them like in the flesh and feel like
Exactly.
it's like real is a word that always
Exactly.
comes to my mind. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Like just having this thing exist in space, like
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
yeah, people, like, humans need that physical touch, like.
Yeah, it's proof that we're real.
Exactly.
Like it is literally proof that we are
Yeah.
real. 'Cause
Yeah.
like this phone does not make me feel real sometimes.
Oh my god,
So
yeah.
it's like super grounding to like, go to
Yep.
the shelf, pick up an album, and then you start getting in like you kind of start getting into the rabbit hole of like, okay, this is a plastic circle that sounds coming out of. Like, Like it just, I don't know, it's so grounding. And then I guess
Yeah,
too, there's the ritual aspect where like,
sure.
even with a CD, you got to go to your shelf, you pull it out,
Yeah.
open the case, make sure there's no dust on it. If there is, you
Mm-hmm.
clean it, you put it in the
Mm-hmm.
player, you press play, it
Mm-hmm.
starts. Like something about that like ritual
Mm-hmm.
like that is super grounding, I think. And
Yeah.
um also like the fact that it doesn't necessarily like come to us instantly,
Mm-hmm.
we can't just press a button and it starts. Like you gotta put
Right.
in a little bit of work. It may not be a lot, but it's still
Yeah.
like you you have to commit to it, and I think
Yeah.
that's healthy and good too.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think with AI now, that's probably just going to make physical media even
Oh my
more
gosh, I
popular.
totally
So,
totally agree. And now that also makes me think of, I have to ask you about the album's closer, which is AIO. We have to talk about that now. That was like, oh my gosh, like when I first saw that that was a title, I was like, okay, don't know what this means. I'm sure the song will explain it though. And it totally did. I just loved it so much. Like I wasn't really expecting that. But then now that I heard that, I was like, oh wait, yeah, this is perfect. So like I'm sure that song came out of being frustrated with, the increase of AI and especially in the music scene.
oh
Um
yeah.
like what do you think the future of music is going to be with AI in the mix now, or and like what are some ways that you kind of like I guess combat AI in your craft?
I right now, what I'm seeing with like the AI artists and stuff on Spotify and not
Yeah.
being very clear about that, like it's very concerning for sure. The other concerning part is a lot of artists, getting their music used for like AI training without
Yeah.
permission and all. It's, I wish it needs to be more regulated,
Agreed.
especially like within the artistic field, because I don't think AI is like totally evil. Like
Yeah.
I do use it
Mhm.
as a tool to
Yeah.
get certain things done, but
Oh yeah.
it's never just like, okay, I'm just gonna go to AI and it's just gonna write the whole essay for me,
Right.
like, which I know
Yeah.
is a problem in college these
Oh
days.
god. Yeah.
So like one of the things is that physical media, like we just talked about.
Hmm.
And then obviously AI cannot play live shows yet. I mean, like,
Exactly.
I hope, who knows what's going to
God.
happen. Like, honestly, it's one of those
Uh,
things where really I'm just like, I have no idea where this is going to go because
no one
I don't
does.
see any kind of, limits, and I don't see people
Mm-mm.
who are creating it being thoughtful about its impact and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, we can make it, so let's make it.
Let's
But
just
I don't
do
think
it.
that's always, yeah, that's not always wise.
No, it's not. Clearly, they
No,
haven't seen enough movies.
right. I know. Like, that's a really good point.
Did y'all not watch iRobot, Space
Right.
Odyssey? Like, have we learned nothing?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know if you've seen those videos, but they freak me out. Like the ones, I think it's in China where they have those like humanoid things and
Oh
like,
gosh, I
oh my
hate
God, it's
those.
so
Yeah,
creepy.
I hate those.
And I'm like, why? Why do you need to do this? So
What's the purpose? Yeah, I hate those though. Yeah, they are freaky.
they are
They're
really creepy
freaky. I
looking.
saw one of them, and like it kind of went viral on the internet. You probably saw it too, but I think it was like in China or something, but they had like programmed one of them to try to like dance, like to like replicate Michael Jackson,
Yeah.
and it like took it out. Like that
Yeah.
robot like fell down on the
Yeah.
stairs and couldn't get back up. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, maybe we don't have to worry too much, right?
Right.
So that honestly kind of made my day to see the robot
Was pretty
just,
funny.
yeah, just be absolutely taken out by trying to dance like Michael Jackson. Like that was just
Yeah.
hilarious.
Well,
Um,
the weird thing is that I kind of like felt bad for the robot a little bit too, because I'm like, this is so
Yeah.
mean. Like, you're creating this thing and then
Mhm.
embarrassing it in front of
Yeah.
everybody. And like, sure, like, I assume it doesn't have feelings. Again, I don't
Yeah.
know, but
We don't think they do. Who
right,
really knows?
right,
But yeah,
yeah,
seeing it like finally fall down and not be able to get back up, it did look kind of sad.
I know.
It did look kind of sad. I guess we're just empaths.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
Feel-
that.
Feeling bad for technology. Oh my gosh. Well, that was honestly like such a refreshing conversation. Like I feel like we covered like so many good things. Like I mean, we reminisced on the early 2000s. We talked and laughed about AI and the robots not being quite as advanced.
Yeah.
Um, we heard some cool stories from you. We talked about, I guess, just how traumatizing your 20s can be sometimes, but how everything will ultimately, it won't always be that way.
It will fall in place eventually.
Yes, yes, it will fall in place. That leaves me with one final question for you, and that is now that you have kind of, well, not kind of, you have put Welcome to 20 something out into the world. It's been out since May 29th, right?
Yep.
Yep. Is there like some advice or just like a piece of advice that you would give someone that's currently in the thick of their early 20s now that you're, in your 30s and wiser?
Uh, there's probably a lot of things I could say,
Yeah.
but I think it probably the simplest one would just be to believe in yourself and not give up on yourself, and know that, like, sometimes even if you don't know what you're doing, just
Mhm.
instead of trusting, like, you don't know what's going to happen in like 5 months, but maybe just trust the next minute of, you know, what you're thinking about and what decision you make, and you can only make any decision with the knowledge you have at the moment. So
Yeah.
you just gotta trust your gut, even when you feel like you can't trust your gut.
I love that because that definitely will happen. That definitely will
It
happen.
will.
I feel
It
like
will.
doubt is a big part of your early 20s.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. Like, you gotta know that you're gonna find your way. So
Yeah. Awesome. And then sneak in another question. If you could recommend everyone like one album that like you think is like an essential to a physical media collection, what album would what album would you say?
well, it's got to be one that I own.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm in trouble and I gotta
Uh,
go shopping. Let me see. I have my stack here.
ooh, yes,
At least
consult
most
the
of my
stack.
stack.
Yeah.
um,
And I know this is a tough question, so take your time.
it is a very tough question.
Mhm. I mean, you could also say multiple, like you don't have, if you
Okay.
want to.
No, I think I can give you one.
Okay.
That's gonna be Nirvana's Nevermind.
Ooh, solid.
I just think they're one of the
Yes.
greatest bands ever.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, I do love me some Nirvana. Yes. What a good choice. Oh my gosh, no one said that one yet either, so we're really adding some variety to these. I love it.
good.
Well, yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here and again giving me your time and chatting about all the things. It was truly so fun. I'm also gonna get you to can you list off your socials so people know where to find you and follow you and support you and all that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's at Reva K Music. So that's REVAK Music. And that is on all the platforms. So Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, X, YouTube, whatever. And then my website is www.therevolution.com. So it's like the word revolution, but with an A,
I
Revolution.
love it. That's so
Haha, clever.
clever. That is so clever. I noticed you have a sign back there that says the
Yeah,
revolution is now
yeah,
too. Look at
yeah.
that.
Take that to my shows, and it's a
Yeah.
light up sign, and everyone loves it. People like take photos with it.
Oh,
So
I love that. Oh my gosh. Thank you again so much for chatting with me, Reva. This was so fun.
I had a really good time. Really good to meet you.
Same here. It was nice to meet you too.